What's happening, everybody? Today I have a real Florida delicacy for you. These guys right here, you see this? Grubs. I'm just kidding. Today we're going to talk about the Florida Betony. Alright, so Florida Betony has multiple names. Some people call it Hedge Nettle, some people call it Rattlesnake Weed. This is why they call it Rattlesnake Weed right here. This tuber looks just like the rattle on a rattlesnake, and they are delicious. Very crunchy, very mild, delicious. They're actually a type of wild radish. The scientific name for them is Stachys Floridana, and like I said, they are a type of wild radish. They're actually in the mint family, so if you take a cross section of the stem, it'll be square. And the reason I'm sitting in this part of the garden is because right behind me here is the plant. So you can see by the shape of the leaves here, they are lance shape with scalloping around the edges. They have a typical mint flower, either white to lavender in color, very small and delicate. And the leaves alternate on the stem. So you have two coming off here, and then it'll alternate two here, and then another two here. So the leaf, like I said, lance shape and scalloped. And if you took a cross section of the stem, you'll notice that it's square. You probably can't see that, but trust me, it is. There's no aroma to the plant, and they grow to be about 1 to 2 feet tall, and then they start to flower in the springtime and the fall. Excellent raw. You can also throw them in your salad and pickle them, cook them however you want, a normal radish, but they don't have that spicy bite that a typical radish from your garden has. So the interesting thing about this plant is the Stachys Floridana is the wild variety here in Florida, and there is a cousin of it called Stachys Affinis, and same look-alike tubers. However, those things go for $160 a pound at your fancy, expensive restaurants. And they usually get them from China. But here in Florida, they grow everywhere, and we have a surplus of them. So if you can figure out a way to harvest them and start a business, you could probably make some money and sell them as an alternative to its cousin, Stachys Affinis. $160 a pound, remember that. I learned that from our buddy Greene Dean over at Eat the Weeds. You should check out his YouTube channel or go to eattheweeds.com. Alright, so time of year. The plants will be around pretty much all year round. However, the right time to harvest them is in the springtime and the fall. So right now, like I said, it's April. Perfect time to go harvest some tubers. They enjoy full sun and a lot of water. You can usually find them in unkept lawns, fields, you know, basically anywhere in Florida. Besides eating the tubers, you can also eat the leaves cooked like greens, and they have kind of a musty flavor though, so, but that's not the shining star of this plant. The shining star is the root. A little history on this is these came from China. They were introduced to France in the town of Crosnes, and they started getting incorporated into fancy restaurants, and finally they were brought to New York. Crosnes is also another name for Chinese artichoke. So I'm going to show you here in a minute how to harvest these. You only have to dig a few inches under the ground and you'll find them everywhere if you find a patch of them. Very easy, very simple. You wash them off and do whatever you want with them. I have a good amount that we went and harvested the other day. So you can see right here, if you guys can see that, That is a lot. So I'll show you here in a second how we harvested all of these. And then I'm going to show you a pickling recipe that I like. It's a Hibiscus Roselle pickled wild radish recipe. Very excellent, super tasty, and they stay crunchy even after pickled. So stay tuned for that, guys. Delicious. I love these things. These are probably my favorite wild edible. So good. All right, so me and Isla were going for a bike ride, and we saw this little patch right here. So this is a perfect example of Florida Betony. So this is it kind of in its glory. The plants do get a little bit taller. I don't know if you guys can see back in there. There's some taller ones, you know, maybe 1.5 feet, 2 feet. Most of these are about 6 inches, 6 to 12 inches. You can see the flowers here. That's what the flowers look like. And then a good look at the leaves. So you can see the scalloping on the edges of the leaves. And they're not very big, you know, that's my hand. And if we dig under here a little bit, you're gonna get the infamous tubers. There's one already right there. So doesn't take very long to get the radishes, which is the prized possessions. There's another one. I was gonna dig a little bit. She already got one, so yeah. And this right here, the soil is nice and loose, so it's easy to dig around. There's another one. They're probably anywhere from 1 to 2 inches down to a couple inches. But they're not very deep. So if you're digging deep and you're not finding any, you're probably going too far. Most of them are gonna be on the surface, underneath the plants right here. Oh, there's another one. So in pretty short order, you guys can get quite a few of these. So that's it. This is the little patch right here, and it's in the shade, which is even better. It's not so hot. So it's kind of hard. There used to be a bunch of plants here. It looks like they all died back, but you can see right here, those flowers is the Florida Betony. So this plant right here, this little guy, if I follow this thing back, there's gonna be a root right somewhere in here. And you do gotta dig a little bit deep, not crazy, see? Right there, that's a nice size one. And where there's one, there's gonna be plenty more. So let's see. Yep, right there. That's a good size one too. Boom.
Have you found any?
Yep, found a lot. But I should have brought my shovel because there's a nice fat one. Oh yeah, 2 for 1.
Oh wow.
Right there. So just this little hole, guys, I have got that many. All right, so that's the Florida Betony plant right there. This one right here. And I'm gonna use 2 hands for this. See if we can get a nice big chunk of these. There's one. 2. Oh, guys, there's a nice one. Jeez, look at that. That's a big one. So that's kind of the whole plant right there, guys, if you can see that. There's the top, the leaves, and it grows these tubers. Oh, here comes a fat one. Oh, I just broke it. Dang. I really need a shovel. Oh, see, you dig a little bit deeper. And there's tons of them. There's one. nice one. You just kind of keep peeling this off like sod, and you get all these little tubers. Oh, there's a nice one. That's a nice one. That's a keeper. Peel this all back right here. So I'm gonna get my fingers down in there and just peel it. See what we got. Nothing right there. Go a little bit deeper. There's one. That's a nice one. There's two. All right, so pretty short order. Got all of these. Oop. All of that. So our pile is growing. So here's another plant. Right here. There's a whole bunch right here. Little ones. Popping out. These are all little baby ones. Still good. There's a fat one.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. There's a fat one.
You gonna pickle them?
Oh yeah, here we go. Getting into the queens. There's two more. Oh, we found it. We found it, y'all. Look, they're all clustered up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 big ones. 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh yeah. There's another one, 10. Oh, you're eating them all dirty?
No.
You gross kid. There's, look at that one. That's a fat one.
We're gonna pickle these?
Yep. This one is a little, I don't know if you guys can tell the difference here. Let me see if I can clean it off a little bit. This one's got some brown on the end. It's kind of mushy. So that's no good anymore. But let's see. There's another one. This is like the, oh, here's some more. They're just under the surface right here. Tons of them. Tons of them. Another one. Just under the surface. That's funny. I was trying to dig up the dirt and they're all just right here. Tons of them. Gee whiz. Tons of them. Found the patch. So it is, oh my gosh, there's so many of them. So many of them. Found the patch, Isla. Oh my goodness. I can't even dig them all up, there's so many. All right, look how many we found. That was in about 5 or 10 minutes in this one little patch. They're just under the surface here. I mean, tons of them. So many of them. Just gotta dig a little bit. Search around. That's it. All right, you wanna go pickle them? All right, so I'm gonna show you a couple of things you're gonna need for the ingredient list for this Hibiscus Roselle pickled Florida Betony. First thing you need is some Roselle calyxes. If you don't have those, you can just use the leaves, that's fine. This is more for color, but you can see right here I got a nice one. Right there, that's a nice one. So I would pluck maybe 5 or 6 of these if you got them. If you don't, then just use the leaves. It's more for color. So got a couple in here. There's another one. And another one. All right, this is not in the recipe, but if you're pickling something, you gotta have some dill, right? So I'm gonna get a few sprigs of this dill. Fresh dill from the garden. There we go, perfect. The recipe calls for coriander, which I have ground coriander, but I'm gonna substitute coriander with the dill. All right, so this is the ingredients you're gonna need. You got your Roselle calyxes, some dill, fresh garlic, salt, vinegar. You can substitute apple cider vinegar if you want, bay leaves, and I'm going to use fennel seed since I don't actually have fennel. You can also add coriander seeds if you have that, but this is going to be it, and some water, and that'll do it. All right, so the first step is you need to fill your jar up with your radishes. Next step is to fill that all the way up with water. All right, after you've filled the jar all the way up with your 3 million-year-old organic water, you're going to want to pour half of it into a measuring cup. That's probably about half. That's going to be your measurement that you use. You then fill the other half, so we're at a little over half a cup, with your vinegar. There we go. Once that's ready, you're going to pour that into a pan and bring that up to a boil. So to your vinegar water mixture, you're going to add your Roselle. Get that all in there. And you'll see as we cook it, it's going to start turning pink. Get that going. You'll also want to keep a lid on it to maintain the moisture because you don't want to lose it. So after this, you're going to want to empty out your tubers, and you're going to start filling this jar with your ingredients. We have our dill. Put in a bay leaf. Boop. Some fennel seeds. Then you're going to crush your garlic cloves. Get the wrapper off. Stick that down in there. I'm adding extra garlic because I like extra garlic. Next, you're going to add half a teaspoon of that ocean. Next, put all of your betony back in the jar. All right. As you can see, our vinegar and water Roselle mixture is boiling. I'll cook for about 3 to 5 more minutes on low. All right, it's been about 3, 4, 5 minutes. We have a nice deep pink color here, and we're going to pour that in. The perfect amount. Close her up. Give it a shake. And there you have it. Nice pink, rich color. Let it sit in the fridge for about 24 to 48 hours, and then you can start eating them. I recommend letting it cool down a little bit though. Alright y'all, this is some wild Florida Betony that we pickled a few days ago. I did a different recipe on this, I put some turmeric in there to give it that yellow flavor since I didn't have the Roselle yet. And they're pretty darn good. I also added some red pepper flakes to this one to make it a little bit spicy. So good. So good, y'all. You're gonna love this. You gotta go try it. If you've lived in Florida your whole life, I'm sure you've seen these rattlesnake looking grubs while digging through the dirt as a kid. Or if you're a gardener, I know you've seen them. Collect them and pickle them, eat them, eat the weeds. Super tasty, y'all. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a like. Please subscribe if you want more on foraging and wild edibles and gardening in general. Thank you guys so much. We'll catch you next time. Peace out.